Welcome into Game Night. I am Derek Forrest. Joining me on the show today is our very own Alex Flum, who's over at Commanders Camp, the first day of training camp. And it's a nice, cool 83 degrees, and you're feeling nice weather over there as you're just chilling.
Yeah, Derek, I was telling you before we started the show that if I closed my eyes and laid back, I would feel like I'm sitting on a beach with the sun and the breeze. Listen, I'm used to being out here for training camp with 100-degree weather, running around like a chicken with my head cut off and sweating, and I am so glad that that is not the case today. It was a pretty early morning, so maybe I will fall asleep if it gets too comfortable here. But it feels so nice today, and it's unusual for a late July day here in the DMV.
Yeah, you're sitting in front of the bubble, but if you're using that analogy, it almost looks like you're at a family reunion with picnic tables behind you.
Yeah, I mean, those are getting ready for fans to come over the weekend. I think they're going to have some activations and things set up for fans over there. But right now, it does look like a family reunion, and that's basically what this is for this Commanders team. They described it in some different ways, but it is a big family reunion. The guys from last year coming back, the new guys coming in, so a family reunion and a start of kind of a new era in year 3 of the Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, Jaden Daniels era here in Washington.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So what has it been like so far? Obviously, you've been running around, etc., but what has been the vibe so far, first day of training camp, seeing this new 2026 Washington Commanders team?
I think the vibe has been newfound energy, lessons learned, but also a fresh slate. You know, this team talked about that they've learned lessons from last year. Dan Quinn told us that yesterday in the evening press conference ahead of training camp. But this team also wants to make clear that they are putting last year behind them. This is a fresh new slate. This is the first day of the 2026 season, so to speak. And they're seeing this training camp as where things start as they try to go forward and bounce back from what really was an incredibly disappointing season last year.
Yeah. Alex, you know I'm always doing some work at home, whether or not I'm listening to the Dan Quinn press conference earlier today or Jaden Daniels, and I know for a fact that you asked Jaden Daniels a question about him being a veteran this year, entering year number 3 of his career, and he had some pretty interesting things to say, but does he look like he's now a veteran on the football field?
You know, I didn't get to see a ton of what Jaden was doing, and it was kind of a shorter practice. They were running some red zone looks and things like that and some competition. But he does have the aura and the swag of a veteran, I would say, right now. It's hard to evaluate the on-the-field talent already. But, you know, Jaden made it clear. He said he's not an unk yet when I asked him kind of about that. But he's saying he still feels young, but he's already ready to pass some wisdom on to some of these other guys. But what was interesting is John Keim from ESPN did ask Jaden. He said, you know, Bobby Wagner is gone. Do you feel like this is your team now? Do you feel like you're ready to take the reins and be in charge? And here's what he had to say about that.
Have more of a voice and you mature more over the years. You know, you play a lot of ball, you go do a lot of different things on and off the field, so you're going to mature in this league. So now it's kind of just being more intentional with not only myself, but, you know, getting the guys around me, you know, ready and rallying the troops. Even when Bobby was here, obviously, you know, you have a Hall of Fame linebacker, Hall of Fame player that's done a lot, you know, a big brother to me and stuff like that. So I kind of picked up on stuff that he did and how he led and how he used his voice in certain situations. And now, you know, he's not here, so it's like now it's my team for sure.
You hear that from Jaden Daniels. It kind of reminds me, Derek, I don't even know what movie it is. I don't know what this reference is, but I always see the meme where the guy's on the boat and he's like, I'm the captain now. I mean, I feel like those are kind of the vibes with Jaden Daniels.
I'm glad that he brought up Bobby Wagner. Did it get followed up by, is Jaden Daniels going to continue the book club this year? Did that come up today?
That is a great question, and I would like to ask Jaden that tomorrow because Bobby was a big part of that book club that sometimes we would say, hey, what book are you reading? I don't even think they could remember sometimes. But Jaden did say when he was asked about the quarterback series on Netflix, He said that he has not watched it. He does not plan to watch it. He's made it pretty clear he is not looking back toward last season. If I was Jaden, I wouldn't want to watch that either. So that was interesting to say. He seems pretty locked into being on the football field, and he seems pretty glad to be on the football field too.
Yeah, one of the things you were saying earlier today already during this is it felt like, the first day of Commanders camp felt like, a family reunion getting back together. But it feels like the first day of school for a lot of these rookies that are out there this year too, right? Like getting a new experience, finally getting into training camp. What was it like for some of the rookies out there, including Antonio Williams and Katron Allen and all those guys?
Yeah, so we did talk to Antonio and kind of asked him how he was feeling. And you could kind of feel the nerves and the jitters from him, but you could also feel some excitement. We saw him working a lot with Terry. We saw him with the wide receiver group as a whole. I think Jaden was giving him some pointers. So I think he's learning a lot very quickly. And of everyone out here, he was the one that said, it's like I'm walking into my first day of school. He's got his backpack. He's got his locker. Here's what Antonio said about a fresh start here in his NFL career.
Enjoying it, first day out here, man. I feel like first day of school or something. So just taking it all in and learning from the vets. It's always good to have some nerves. That means you really care about what you're doing, and you want to make a good impression on others. It was a little bit of jitters and just pumped and blessed to be out here.
If they ask me questions, I play some ball in this league, so give them as much as I know. I don't know a lot, but I'm still learning. I'm still young, like I said, but it's their first time going through a camp, so they're kind of asking me, what's my routine and stuff like that, trying to figure out little things. So just give them little nuggets here and there.
We already had a bunch of guys here, and all the pieces we brought in, it's awesome. So it's just learning, taking from, other guys. It's not the same defense, but you can still take from, how things like cultural wise are being done here with, Coach DQ.
And Derek, at the end of that, we just heard from Leo Chenal, a veteran joining the Commanders from the Kansas City Chiefs. We also had a chance to talk to him today, and we talked about Antonio Williams, the rookie, obviously the big rookie here, Sonny Styles, first-round pick at linebacker. And, I brought up to Leo that when Jaden was a rookie, Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner would often tell us, Jaden's not really a rookie. He may be considered a rookie technically, but when you look at what Jaden Daniels was doing his rookie year, he was already looking like a veteran. And Leo Chenal said he sees a lot of similarities in the way Sonny Styles' mindset is and the way he approaches things from what Jaden was doing his rookie year here.
He's definitely like a mature dude. He doesn't seem like a rookie. It seems like an 8-year vet. Just the way he carries himself. The whole field thing is different. He's an animal on the field. He's a monster out there. But like the way he carries himself, the way he's disciplined in his routine, it's really showing up every day. And he's really consistent. So it's cool to watch. And things you can even learn. Like I'm as a going to year 5, like you can still take from younger guys and be like, wow, man, I need to hold myself accountable. Like, look what he's doing. And so we're just bringing each other up in that way.
And I'll echo what Leo said. I think you could really see it from Sonny on the field today. He looks seasoned. He doesn't look like a rookie. I think once he adds on some more weight, we'll see it even more from him. But I think the Commanders have a good player on their hands in Sonny Styles.
Yeah, let's hope so. We already know how I felt in terms of concerns about being a rookie and being able to lead this defense. But if other guys on the team are already saying that he looks like an 8-year vet, I feel a little bit better about number 52 and what he could potentially provide. Still wish Bobby Wagner was on the sideline, but if Sonny comes out and balls in game 1 or even in game 1 of the preseason versus the Miami Dolphins, I'll feel really good about where this defense is going. One final thing for you, Alex. What do you think it's going to be like tomorrow? You were talking about how chill it was today. Is it going to be a chill day for you tomorrow?
Well, I'll say this, Derek. One thing I did want to add on, there was a report. There was a report from another reporter here out at camp that Nick Allegretti, who's expected to potentially be the starting center for this team, was seen walking out of practice. We did not officially see that, but that's the report that's out there. If Nick Allegretti is dealing with an injury, that could impact the race for who's going to play center. I know Brandon Coleman is a name that's mentioned in there. You have the rookie Matt Gulpin. So that'll be something we'll be watching tomorrow. Does Dan Quinn have an update in the morning on Nick Allegretti? Because obviously the team parting ways with Tyler Biotish over the offseason, releasing him. Now he's with the Chargers. That is a void on this offense in an important position. So for the Commanders' sake, if Allegretti is hurt, I'm sure they're hoping that it's something not too major and he can get right back out there, because Adam Peters and Dan Quinn had some huge praise for him last night talking about him, and I think he's kind of the front runner to be that starting center in week 1.
Yeah, for sure. And you know how the fan base is. You get rid of Tyler Biotish and you have an injury on day 1. That's not a good look on the radio airways in terms of this fan base. So hopefully Nick Allegretti, it's something small and he can get back out there pretty soon. All right, Alex, that's going to do it for you out there. Thank you so much. Coming up on the show, we're going to hear from Tiger Munn as he sat down with De'Ami Brown, who's now reconnected with Jaden Daniels. That's coming up next on Game Night. Welcome back into Game Night. Derek Forrest, as you saw, we talked to Alex Flum from Commanders Camp in the first block, but Tiger Munn was also out at Commanders Camp, and he got a chance to sit down with wide receiver De'Ami Brown, who was back with the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels. Remember, they had that connection during the postseason, Daniels' rookie season, so hopefully that connection returns in year 3 for Jaden Daniels. Here's Tiger Munn's conversation with De'Ami Brown.
Stay at camp, man. Why don't we start off with that? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I feel amazing. Feel great to be back, another season to take off, and excited for the opportunity that's at stake.
How awesome is it to be back here in D.C., the team, and being back, catching passes with Jaden Daniels?
Oh, man, it's amazing. I spent my first 4 years here. Took a little break, went somewhere else for a year, went to Jacksonville for a year, but, man, it feels good to be back. Feel like home, and a lot of guys that's here I was here with previously, so you feel that brotherhood and you feel that connection all still there. So and I kept up with them boys, throughout the time when I was gone for a year, but I feel good to be back.
And that year in Jacksonville, just what did you learn about yourself being away from DC, being away from the Commanders? Just that year away, did you learn anything, and how did it impact you and your career now stepping into 2026?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think the most important part was when just staying intentional, regardless of the situation. Keep your head up, keep going, keep striving, because you never know. Sometimes some things that happen, but I kept my head, kept being a pro, and going to work every day.
When you came back that offseason, when you decided to come back, was it kind of like, oh, can't wait to come back to reunion, or it's like, hey guys, let's get back to business?
At first, you always want to, still feel that brotherhood, because you're not going right away, and you have time to, still get to know other guys that's in the building, new guys that was here, and I think for the most part, when it's time to go, it's time to go. You always want to build that connection outside of football first, and let everything happen on the field be on the field.
And last time you were here, a little bit different coaching staff. Guys got David Blau now for the offensive coordinator position. Just from your experience with him, just what have you seen from him, and what do you really like about the way he's trying to run the offense?
Oh man, Blau, he's real smart, outgoing, but as far as like offense, he's real diverse. He's able to put guys in position to be able to make plays, and I think we can scheme some stuff up to go out there and execute the way we need to so we can score a lot of points.
Speaking of that, just what have you seen from Jaden, the strides he's taken from you were here for year 1, now you're here for year 3. Just what's the difference between Jaden year 1 and Jaden year 3?
Oh, man, just more vocal, and from coming in his rookie year and being able to, be their leader and take the team as far as he did, to see him grow and be more vocal and, just be more intentional, be more detailed to things, and being able to communicate a little bit better for the offense, for us to be able to execute and go out there and do the things that we need to do to get things done. I think him just being him and throwing the ball the way he does and being the player that he is, it's a long way to go.
And what have you seen from the other guys that were younger when you first got here? Any other guys that stood out, was like, wow, this guy's like, sure, this guy's going to be faster, like any guys like that?
Oh, man, it's really just the confidence in everybody. And they go out there and compete. The competition is the main thing. A lot of these guys don't want to lose, and they're going to compete and they're going to want to be better every single day. And I think for us, as long as we keep doing that and we can strive and do the things that we want to do to go out there and win games and win the division and win playoffs and go to the Super Bowl and do all of those things. So I think just being, confident and the competitive that they are will go far.
All right, coming up on game night, we're going to catch up with EB from the Sports Junkies as he chimes in on what he's looking for out of Commanders training camp in the next couple of weeks. That's coming up next on game night. Welcome back into Game Night. Derek Forrest. I got a chance to catch up with EB with the Sports Junkies over on 106.7 The Fan, and there was, during the offseason, a lot of drama involving Brandon Ayuk and his social media, and he wants to be with the Washington Commanders. However, he's still with the San Francisco 49ers, and he's not doing what he needs to do to get reinstated, all of that fun stuff. But I asked EB, what would happen if Brandon Ayuk just decided to show up to training camp as a fan?
I wouldn't be surprised if that dude buys a ticket. And he's out there and he's got cleats, some of the shoelaces around his neck, just going, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." I don't think it's off the board, which is wild to think. There's a part of me that's thought all along that he's just kind of doing his thing on social media. For him, it's just fun. And that, Adam Peters knows him, knows he's a wild card, and that none of this is really surprising to them. None of this is even surprising to Jaden, that they know who Brandon Ayuk is, and this isn't a revelation. Now, there's also a possibility that this has been a total break from reality, and this is not the guy they knew at Arizona or Arizona State or in San Francisco previously. So I'm kind of torn on the situation. If he's truly had a break, I do feel bad for him, though, because, man, you talk about a guy, fumbling the bag. He's made some money here, but if he's really fumbled this, he's not going to make any more.
Yeah.
And I wonder how long he's going to be set financially,
I got
the way he lives.
Yeah. I got a couple more for you. If there was a concern of yours entering training camp with this Commanders team, what would it be?
The number one concern is, can Jaden Daniels stay healthy? If Jaden Daniels could stay healthy, I think they honestly could do anything, including win their own division. And then come playoff time, anything can happen. If Jaden is not healthy, then we could have another repeat of last season. And then we're going to have a real problem on our hands, because what are we going to do? Are we just going to sit there and hope that these is just 2 seasons out of 3, this kind of bad luck, or is this a real issue? Yeah. So the number one question for this football team, it trumps every other question out there. Every personnel decision is, can Jaden Daniels stay healthy and play like at least 15 or more games? He has to, because if he doesn't, it's doom and gloom.
Last one for you. I know you guys get Paul Taboni on the show every week. Just what's your thoughts on what the Nationals have been able to do this season, and where do you think they'll sit? What side of the fence when this trade deadline comes up on August 3rd?
I think it'll probably be a little bit disappointing for fans. I think he's being relatively upfront with us that they're going to do some buying and they're going to do some selling. But if they inevitably move Foster Griffin here in a couple days, after reports are that they did talk some about an extension, but the talks fizzled quickly. They've had a bunch of scouts from other teams that have been in to watch him. He's got one more start here before the deadline. When they trade him and they're not going to get a huge haul for him, and he's been unbelievable. It's going to be a jolt. It's going to be disappointing. And if they trade another guy, stud in the lineup, man, God forbid, if they trade CJ Abrams, it's going to be bad. So I think it's just ultimate. I don't think that they will, but I think at the end of the day, they're going to be perceived more as sellers than buyers. And I think that probably is going to frustrate fans. I don't have any intel on that. That's just my instinct. And I've been known to be wrong. But I think ultimately they're going to try to cash in some of these chips, and I think it's going to frustrate fans.
All right, coming up on the show, we're going to hear from Adam Peters as he chimes in on Brandon Ayuk, maybe, or at least that's what the question insinuated. We're going to have those details coming up next on Game Night. Welcome back into Game Night. Derek Forrest, all off season long, we've been talking about Brandon Ayuk and everything that he's been posting on social media. But for the first time since we broke from minicamp, we were able to ask either Dan Quinn or Adam Peters about everything going on about Brandon Ayuk, or at least that's the assumption. Here's a question from one of the reporters here in town.
And Adam, one for you, just in a general sense, as you're always looking to improve the team, when you're evaluating guys to maybe bring in for workouts, whatever, what role, if any, does kind of a player's social media have in that evaluation process?
That's a good roundabout question.
What a badass you are. Straight badass right there.
But no, we look at everything, JP. I mean, it's a great question, but we do look at everything, and you know, we want to make sure it's the right player to be in our locker room, in our bloodstream, and in our culture. And you know, we often, you know, we look at that stuff. I mean, it's not always the first thing we look at. Obviously, you're looking at the tape and you talk to the teams that the players have been on, and how they were in the locker room, the players that have played with them, and so on and so forth to make those decisions. But you know, that's not usually a huge part of it. Usually.
All right. Well, there you have it, straight from Adam Peters. Well, I can't really talk about the player, but we got a little bit of a nugget there, depending on how you read it. I look at it as the social media stuff from Brandon Ayuk means he's no longer going to be a Washington Commander. But everybody has their own translation of what Adam Peters says. But we got to get out of here. That's going to do it for another edition of Game Night. For Alex Flum, who we saw earlier today, I'm Derek Forrest. Have a good night.